And we are live.
We are indeed.
We're live, and hopefully all good on the old audio now.
Indeed.
After messing around with it and droning, and our mic checks are quite funny. Anyway, this is Tangentlemen, drinking and thinking, where two, currently sober individuals get progressively more drunk and talk about things. It's like being at the pub with your mates.
Yes, yeah, that's what we're going for, I think.
Yeah. So if you'd like to join us, unless it's like early in the morning, probably don't join us in this way. But come back to it in the evening, pour yourself something, and join us to muddle through some things.
Indeed.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
There we are.
Now, what is this whiskey?
So we're on some different whiskey today, not any like brands you would have heard of. This is Glenorchy, which is a blended malt whiskey. I can hear our friend Carl going like this, like shuddering, like his skin, like audibly shuddering.
His skin just crawled, yeah.
Yeah, didn't fucking realise it until I bought it. I normally go to Tesco, buy my whiskey, and this time my mum was like, "Can't remember where we're coming back from." She's like, "Can we just go to like Lidl's because it's closer?" I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. Went in there. It cost more, and was blended." But it's not. It's not a bad taste. So it could be worse. Could be a lot worse.
No, it's right.
Could be like last time where you were drinking the closing the door. The curdled whiskey. Do you remember the curdled whiskey?
How could I forget it? How could I forget it?
Ew. That would look so gross, and I can only imagine it tasted worse.
Disgusting. But our second whiskey.
Oh, very.
I brought some Christmas whiskey.
Some Crimbo whiskey, so we're going high grain. Why was I thinking grain? Probably whiskey.
Whiskey, yeah, makes sense.
Grains in there, isn't there?
Yeah. Which is Ardmore single malt.
So
Scotch.
We're getting back to the big boy stuff.
And
Carl has now breathed a sigh of relief.
Yeah,
he's gone,
he will now speak to us again.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Carl. Love you, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll save some of this for you, probably. Maybe.
Yeah. Wonder when we're seeing him next, because we were all gonna meet up, and then someone had to go and buy a house.
I know, right?
Oh,
what?
Stop being grown up. Just let us come round and chat and drink and listen to like memes.
Well, I know when we're going to meet up again.
Oh.
It's going to be this weekend, isn't it?
Well, of course Carl will be there. The moron. Why am I such a moron? Because, Matt's joining the Dirty 30 Club. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, you've got one of two clubs to join. You can join the Dirty 30 Club or the Flirty 30 Club. Which one are you going to join?
They just seem like branches of the same club.
They used to be
like
one
different
club.
Rooms in the same
They
club.
used to be one club.
Yeah.
But then, like, there were people like copping off with each other. They were like, "You guys are too dirty. Get out the flirting. This is about flirting."
Okay.
And like the other half were like, "I just want to, get my end away, and I really like Candice here. Candice likes me, and we'd like to engage in some coitus." This is a long time ago when they were still using the word coitus. You see.
This was amongst a room full of scientists.
Yeah.
Candice and I would like to engage in coitus.
And they were like, "Look,
Dr. Carmichael and I would like to."
Bloody Dr. Carmichael. He was always a randy bugger, though, from what I remember.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Carmichael, yeah.
And so, like, look, you've got to go make your own club now.
Yeah.
So Candice and Dr. Carmichael, they made the Dirty 30 Club. Yeah.
I see, okay.
Which one are you joining?
Oh, well, we'll start with flirty and see how it goes.
All right, I'll see you in dirty then. I've always been flirty, so I might as well just have a dirty 30. I don't know, it might be fun, or it might just be terribly bad.
It might.
Dr. Carmichael might be into some sick stuff.
Yeah, well, you know what he's like between coming up with his theories.
Yeah, theory fuck.
Between measuring isotopes.
How can we choose like? Face down, science up. That's how I like to fuck, or something like that. That's Dr. Carmichael's motto. What are we doing? We're talking about we're supposed to be doing a podcast, aren't we?
We're supposed to be,
but we're also the Tangentlemen, so you know what you're in for, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, Matt, you have a list this time.
I do, yeah.
Anyway, so Matt's turning 30, and will be 30 by the next time we record, I imagine.
Yeah, I suspect so.
To your health, buddy. Welcome to the club. It's no
Thank
fucking
you very
different.
much.
You've just got 0 at the end.
Yeah. I find that Yeah, I'm finding that I'm just sort of like, okay.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm turning 30.
Yeah.
Like, I went to see family at the weekend, and my uncle is turning 60 soon as well. And he and I share this feeling of just like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might be nice to sort of have like a shared grieving process though, because obviously every 0 year you go through, he's going to go through it too, and has already been there.
True.
You know.
Yeah. True.
That's cool that you are like half his age at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Because 10 years ago you wouldn't have been. He would have been 50. You would have been 20.
Exactly. Yeah.
Special.
That is special.
It's a special.
I didn't make the connection. I didn't make the maths connection.
Yeah. Now you can honour that. You can honour that this year.
Indeed.
Somehow, I don't know.
Yeah. By not giving a shit.
Yeah. Just getting on with your life and forgetting everything and just, you know.
Neither of us will give a shit.
Getting eaten up by the mundane, and then a year passes and then we're all dead.
Only 1 year until we're all
just
dead.
Eventually. Just just how time works, isn't it? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
welcome to the show.
We've got more pleasant topics, I assume, unless it is just a death and dying episode.
Well, okay. See, so I've got 4 questions noted down here.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm going to let you choose.
Ooh.
So, at random though.
Of course.
So let's say, see if we had a D4 here, we could just roll that.
I do.
We have a D4.
I think so.
Because we're nerds.
There should be somewhere.
Because you have. Oh yeah, because obviously you'd have a D4.
Because I'm a nerd.
Hey, I have a D4.
Can you hear that? Just the clinkety clack of die.
So do you have enough dice? And the answer is obviously no.
D4, there we are.
There we are, we have a D4.
Purple one, my favourite colour.
All right. That is nice, that. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. You roll it, all right, because you're choosing. Well, you're not. Fate is choosing.
We are going for a 3, sir. A 3.
Okay. So, number 3 is, what is the best moral system?
Oh. Right, so my instantly I go to and it's like in philosophy, it's like the black sheep. No one fucking likes it, and everyone thinks it's dumb.
Okay.
Right, but I always really liked utilitarianism, and it's like the most good for the most people.
Okay.
And everyone thinks it's like reductive and everything like that.
Now, I should before we well, we've already sort of gotten into the question, but before we get into it more, I don't really know much about philosophy. You're going to know more of these terms than me. So when you said utilitarianism, I don't know if I looked completely blank.
It was a I wonder what this is, look.
Okay.
Yeah. But so utilitarianism basically states it's the most good for the most people.
Okay.
Right? Which makes sense. Like, it's nice and simple, and I think it makes sense. And I mean, ideally, I'd like to help everyone.
Sure.
That would be really, really nice. You know, like I remember, so I attempted a master's in philosophy, but bucked out on my dissertation. Too much and you know, I tried to do my second year of my master's while I was traveling. Fucking stupid idea. Do it when you are settled somewhere. And you're not jumping on like a plane or a bus or a train every other week, or working in a bar for 3 months. No one wants to do philosophy when they're hungover. You know?
I mean, I imagine you wax philosophical with a lot of people.
No one wants to study.
As a bartender, I imagine you wax philosophical often.
Nah, well, I was leading up to the Dirty 30, you see. So I was just flirting for tips.
So
that's all I was doing.
Flirting dirtily.
Yeah. That was when I was flirty 29.
Okay.
I've gone, I've done that now. Dirty. Done dirty now. And so anyway, the last section of my first year of my master's was on it was basically how can you save the world. It was basically I had to save the world from hunger in 4,000 words. You can't do it in 4,000 words. They're naughty. You can't fucking do it in 4,000 words. And originally I was going to try and do it in 12, or I thought I can do this in 12.
In 12 words?
In 12,000 words.
12,000 words, okay.
Yeah. Can I do it in 12? Save everyone. Stop being dicks. Just be nice to each other.
You made each other there.
In love only. There we are.
You made each other 2 words there. You made it 1 word. You want each other.
Yeah.
Each other's not 1 word.
I've hyphenated it. I've hyphenated it, you fuck. Sorry that I've saved the world in 13 words, Matt. Can you do it in less?
No, well, you didn't. You said you were going to do it in 12, so we're going to just dismiss all your ideas.
Yeah. Fuck your ideas.
You stand and fall by your 12 words.
That's the hill I die on.
Exactly.
But anyway, so they brought all these moral schools of thought into it. One of them was utilitarianism, which I used again quite a few times. And it gets a lot of bad press.
Okay.
I think maybe from the more like optimistic people. You right there?
I'm going to make notes.
All right. Well, this is going to be like a real basic crash course in this kind of stuff. I tell you what.
There is a reason I'm going to make notes.
I tell you what. Let's bring up something on utilitarianism.
Okay.
Because someone who has obviously, done more study into this is going to have a way better definition than I have.
Yeah, but
ethics Unwrapped is brilliant. So we're talking about ethics. This is a school of ethics.
Okay.
This is a study of ethics that we're talking about here.
You are a pen. All right.
Right. So we are sharing the screen eventually. I could even share a picture of my stupid face from when we were checking our audio, but I'm not going to do that because no one wants to see that. Right. So here we are. Utilitarianism is an ethical theory that determines right from wrong, focusing on outcomes. So it's the ends justifies the means. Right. And I think this is where people have a lot of apprehension on getting behind it.
Okay.
The ends justifies the means. It always sounds like the bad guy, doesn't it? Like Emperor Palpatine or something like that, like some really bad dude in a film. The ends justified the means.
Ends justify the means, and like equality of outcome is what strike me immediately.
So it's a form of consequentialism, like what happens at the end of it. And I jibed with that. I liked it from the 3 that I originally was taught. So utilitarianism holds that the most ethical choice is the one that will produce the greatest good for the greatest number, right?
Okay. See, so that first sentence there, it holds that the most ethical choice is the one that will produce the greatest good for the greatest number. Mm-hmm. Doesn't jive with me. Well, it doesn't. Well, it doesn't jive. It doesn't jive with. Well, no, I mean it does in a way, but it doesn't jive with the ends justify the means for me.
Yeah, this is where I am. Sorry, vaping. But yeah, the greatest good for the greatest number surely seems like the best possible outcome that we can have. It's very at least in our current framework, cultural, ethical, economic framework, we cannot save everyone because for a lot of reasons, and that could be another question. Can we save anyone? We should write that down and do that.
Can we save anyone?
Can we save everyone?
I'm going to write both of those down. Yeah. Can we save anyone? Can we save everyone?
That's fantastic. Maybe we'll do that next week. I like that.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that's next week sorted.
So, but it is also the only moral framework that can be used to justify military force or war.
Okay.
And I think, again, this is where it might get a bit of stick.
Sure.
Because war is not good.
No.
You shouldn't really, ideally, just try and not kill people. This is where I come away from utilitarianism because, don't like killing. Bit of a pacifist. It's also the most common approach for moral reasoning used in business because of the way in which it accounts for costs and benefits. So it looks at, I guess, then you're looking at sort of like economic benefits and things like that. Mm-hmm. So that's the initial one that comes to me. There was a few others that we went through. So there was cosmopolitanism.
That's cocktails, right?
It is indeed. Doesn't have cosmopolitan. Oh no, it's something cosmopolitanism. Cosmopolitanism ethics. Okay, right. We're going to have to... Oh, no. Oh, I want to use Plato instead.
Not Wikipedia.
Because these are all written by philosophers.
Okay.
So, like, I use the... Like, if you ever want to learn about philosophy, go on the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy.
Okay.
Like, it's a great starting point for anything that you want to, like, learn.
Yeah.
Things like that. It's like a Google for philosophy. It's fucking brilliant.
Okay.
Anyway, the word cosmopolitan, which derives from the Greek word cosmopolites, citizen of the world, has been used to describe a wide variety of important views in moral and socio-political philosophy. The nebulous core shared by all cosmopolitan views is the idea that all human beings, regardless of their political affiliation, are or can be and should be citizens in a single community.
I see.
Different versions of cosmopolitanism envision this community in different ways, some focusing on political institutions, others on moral norms or relationships, and still others focusing on shared markets or formed cultural expression. In most versions of cosmopolitanism, the universal community of world citizens functions as a positive ideal to be cultivated, but a few versions exist in which it serves primarily as a ground for denying the existence of special obligations to local forms of political organisations.
So this seems like globalism.
It stinks of it in that first paragraph, doesn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Globalism. Just put think globally as well. My notes. I never make notes during our podcasts. I made a few here.
But there was something else about this that I really jived with, and I can't remember what it is. I think there was a real onus on the individual with this, with cosmopolitanism. I think it comes in when it's like denying the existence of special obligations to local forms of political organisations. I thought, like, that doesn't say what I'm saying.
Okay. So let's take those two then, right? So we got, that seems like, think globally, act locally, that kind of thing is what you, okay.
Yeah.
So let's take utilitarianism first and have a double page spread. Utilitarianism.
Yeah, this is literally the first time Matt has ever taken out his special notebook and made notes in this episode.
Okay, pros and cons.
Yeah.
And then we'll weigh them up.
Yeah.
So, pros of utilitarianism.
The greatest good for the greatest number. Like, the tagline of utilitarianism, I really jive with. The greatest good for the greatest number of people. That can't possibly be a bad thing.
Greatest good for the greatest number.
Yeah.
Okay.
It speaks to that sort of that liberal core of me. You know, it's not the greatest good for the fewest people, like the absolute best for like the elite. You know, let's try and help as many fucking people as we can.
Well, that's neither liberal. That doesn't speak to anything liberal for me. Well, it doesn't speak to anything on that scale to me at all.
Have I messed it up? What does it speak to you then?
Oh, it's sort of just a. I mean, it's a politically neutral statement. The greatest good for the greatest number.
It might be just me being poor.
Well, it's
hating the big man. You know.
I mean, it could be, but I mean, but morally speaking, I mean, in terms of morality, that's just okay.
Seems good, right?
Yeah,
love it. I mean, cons of that. Greatest good for the greatest number. Really, the greatest, like, I imagine, if you sort of worked it out, is probably like 50.9% are going to be not getting any good.
Well, what I put there, I put not parentheses.
I like your con. Yeah,
it's like the greatest good for the greatest number at what cost?
Because this is the only one that you can justify war with. There's like special measures and things like that if you get into sort of consequentialism and things like that.
Well, that's another question we could ask actually, just about war and is it ever justified or justifiable?
War, what is it good for?
Exactly.
And then we answer that question. Someone's already answered it and said absolutely nothing, and then
yeah. Good God. Yeah, I think that's a Carl podcast, that, because he's quite knowledgeable.
Oh, he loves that stuff, doesn't he? And
he's knowledgeable.
He just blew me out of the water. You both did on that podcast about Remembrance Day. I just sat there in awe. I was like, this is very interesting. I'm going to drink this whiskey and listen.
Well, I think it would be like a good thing to raise within that. But greatest good for the greatest number, but at what cost?
And I think the answer to that question is at any cost.
And if it's at any, then that would be a con.
That's a bad thing, isn't it?
So, at any, double underline.
Because again, it's the ends justify the means, isn't it? There can be any means as long as we get to the best possible outcome. And also, really, if we open that phrase up, the best possible outcome, the first question that comes to my mind is for who?
That is exactly what I was doing. So it's the greatest good for the greatest number. I double underlined greatest number and put in the process of writing who or what defines who the greatest number are, and it's who the greatest number are. Because that could be. You could be a utilitarianist who thinks that everything's hopeless, and the greatest number you can save is, what's the sustainable population number? Like 8,000,
it's like 4,000 or something, isn't it? We spoke about this before.
We've spoken about it. Let's split the difference and say like 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up while you wax on this.
So you could be like a psychopath who thinks that humans are shit, and you only 10,000. You think the greatest number of people I can save is 10,000. So
minimum viable population. That's what it is.
Yeah. So you take those 10,000.
4,169.
Wow. That's an odd number.
They've got a naughty number at the end. Yeah.
Why would you have
what is that poor soul doing at the end? The last one. That's bloody Dr. Carmichael, isn't it?
Dr. Carmichael.
He's sorting out all those threesomes and saucy things, isn't he?
Yeah,
bloody Dr. Carmichael.
Is that a... hang on. No, that's not a multiple of 3. 4169, is it? I was saying it'd be all three ways, but it's not.
Calculator. Come on.
It's not a multiple of 3. What is it a multiple of, then? Or is it a prime number?
What the fuck is
it can't be a prime number.
Stop this, you... I'm battling with Google's calculator. 4169 divided by... Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway, continue while I will best this technology.
Well, it's basically we have who defines who the greatest number are. Because that's nebulous. Because if you think like the greatest good for the greatest number, and you're thinking 90 whatever % of the population of Earth, then who's speaking for that 10%? And is it right to leave anyone behind in your quest to
help? So 4169 is not a prime number. We're all having orgies. We're all having 11 ways. That's what
300 or 379 ways.
It's just going to be fuck piles, isn't it?
This is Dr. Carmichael's dream.
Dr. Carmichael has done this study. He wants to get the 379 way under his belt. This is what the Dirty 30 Club's all about, though, Matt.
Yeah.
Go hard or go home. Go hard or go into the lesser good and get spent, because the Dirty 30 Club is getting into the 379 ways to survive.
Indeed.
There we are.
Well, there you go. Okay.
So you can see why a lot of people don't jive with this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I'm not sure I jive with it.
On face value, like it's like the tagline of it makes so much sense, doesn't it?
Sure.
The greatest good for the greatest number. That's brilliant. You know?
Yeah.
Like if you're not like naive.
Yeah.
Not necessarily naive. Anyway, on face value, it works. And then you start unpacking it.
Yeah.
And you're like, ooh.
It's like the moment you think about it. I mean, it's
as soon as one question is asked of it, it becomes very, very shady.
And you can probably break down all of this.
You need to ask questions about it, don't you? What is the greatest good?
What is the greatest good? Who decides what the greatest good is?
Who defines what good is? I mean, we did a whole podcast on what good and evil is. There ain't none. We worked it out. There ain't no good.
Is that what we decided?
I think we just decided that it's all fucking grey. Everything,
in some way, yeah.
Everything is grey.
There's no absolute good.
Didn't we? We may have found one, and then we may have tried to go right. If you want to find out what good and bad is, go back to one of our Big Talk episodes where we talk about this.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that we may have worked out one, but basically everything is grey. Try and do your best.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that was on our hit where we were just going. Just try and do your best and do something with your life. That was one of our hits back then.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
One of the sound bites from the end of Big Talk. Just do your best.
Yeah.
Live like The Sims and you'll be all right. That's still something that I want to do.
Yeah,
actually,
do the sim life.
My sim experiment where I live like I live in The Sims and see how much my life progresses. I think I might do it next month. I might do it for a month. See what happens.
Yeah, worth a go.
Yeah, and it gives me an opportunity to play The Sims 3 again. Or Sims 4, whichever one the last one was. I think it was 4.
Probably, I don't know. I don't know how many they've made.
Yeah. So, falls down a bit, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, yeah. And at not much scrutiny. So let's turn over to cosmopolitanism.
Well, this one I don't really fucking know much about. I should have brought up another one. There was another one which is like opposite to that, and it's basically like looking after your own first.
Looking after your own first. Okay.
We'll do that one. Looking after your own first ethics. It's like 2 words.
Do you have a moral duty to care for others? Care ethics.
No.
Foucault.
It's got 2 words.
Fucking
to it.
Foucault. All right.
Hang on, we'll be right back. And we're back. So I had to find out the school of thought that I wanted to talk about, and then I realised there were 3 main schools of thought in ethics. So we're gonna hit those. So basically, cosmopolitanism is an offshoot of
utilitarianism.
Utilitarianism
is an offshoot of one of them.
Is an offshoot of consequentialism. You have 2 other schools of thought. One is deontology, and the second one is virtue ethics. So let's talk about the 3 schools of ethics.
The 3 schools of ethics. Ethics.
Right, we'll just go, right. SEP, deontology. I love SEP, it's brilliant. Deontological ethics. Right, the word deontology derives from the Greek word for duty, deon, and science or study of logos.
Okay.
Logos. In contemporary moral philosophy, deontology is one of those kinds of normative theories regarding which choices are morally required, forbidden, or permitted. So you've got 3 different things. Must do, should do, don't do.
Right?
Okay. In other words, deontology falls within the domain of moral theories that guide and assess our choices of what we ought to do. Deontic theories, in contrast, that guide and assess what kind of person we are and should be. And that's like your virtue ethics.
Yeah.
Right? And within the domain of moral theories that assess our choices, deontologists, those who subscribe to deontological theories of morality, stand in opposition to consequentialists. So this is your opposite to utilitarianism and other things within consequentialism.
Okay.
All consequentialists are ends justify the means. Consequence of something. As long as that bit is good, we'll get there come hell or high water.
Okay.
Deontology says, well, right.
So this is can, must, mustn't.
Yeah, this is must, should, mustn't. Yeah. Yeah.
Must, should.
Absolutely should do.
Required, forbidden, or permitted.
Should do. Absolutely do not do.
Permitted is allowed to do.
Yeah.
Which would be,
so that's your can, your should.
Well, I'm an English teacher, Lee. There's a difference between can and should. Should would be somewhere along the lines of required, but not required.
Yeah.
But strongly suggested.
So if we put this on like a spectrum, it would be in between required and permitted, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
The shoulds.
Sure. Yeah.
This is like your required light.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is this appears in a lot of religion.
Mm.
You can do this, you must do this, you must not do this.
Mm. Yeah, it's your virtues and your vices, isn't it? You know, in Christianity, for example, you know, must be temperate, must not be greedy, for example. Yeah,
sure.
And then other things, you know,
you can
be, you know, be nice to your neighbour.
Yeah, you can. Well, that's a should.
That's a should.
You should be nice to your neighbour.
That's more of a should, isn't it? Yeah.
You should be nice to your neighbour. You can think he's a dick, but you should be nice to him.
But don't murder him or fuck his wife.
Exactly.
Don't do those two things, all right? Because otherwise, no heaven for you. No heaven for you. Otherwise, there'll be floods and all sorts of things.
Mm.
Well, there's lots of things that let's look at the advantages of deontological theories, shall we?
Okay, let's do that. So I was going to do pros and cons here, but it's done it for us.
We're already there. Right, so
let's see if we agree or disagree.
On the one hand, deontological morality in contrast to consequentialism leaves space for agents to give special concern to their families, friends and projects.
Okay.
So we can bring it more into ourselves, whereas consequentialism looks at human beings as a wider thing. This is agency,
but yeah, it gives you space for agency. Whereas utilitarianism
is end result.
Yeah,
get there.
Does not
get there. This is what we have to do. This is the objective.
It does not, or it in most of the times it will not. I would say
this comes into more of like a prioritization.
Okay.
Kind of deal.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, this is more societal. Most societies operate on a deontological basis.
That or the virtue ethics that we'll come on to next.
Well, we'll see, because I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah,
so let's see.
This is. I'm trying to be a philosophy teacher, and we'll see how we do.
Yeah. Well, very few go under the first one, consequentialist.
Yeah. On the face of it, anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's as we say, as it said, consequentialism is the only one that leaves space for war.
Well, communism is the first one that springs to mind with consequentialism, where that's where everything is motivated towards this goal. Mm-hmm. Also, Hitlerism would be another. Yeah, because that was very consequentialist.
Yeah, they were going towards
eugenics, master.
A very sort of pointed conclusion.
Yes,
we will get there anyway.
Yeah.
And that anyway included killing a fuck ton of people and all manner of nasty business. Mm-hmm. So yeah, absolutely a utilitarian.
Indeed.
Bent on that. Anyway, where were we? At least that is so if the deontological morality contains no strong duty of general beneficence, or if it does, it places a cap on that duty's demands. Deontological morality therefore avoids the overly demanding and alienating aspects of consequentialism and accords more with conventional notions of our moral duties.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Again with the agency, because we have different theories of what you must, should, mustn't do.
Mustn't
do.
Modal verbs.
Yeah. There we are. Didn't even know there was such a thing. Anyway, and I would imagine that different theories would have different prioritizations on different things.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
Well, yeah,
and also for you to, right, here's your virtues, stack them up how you like. Because we all do that, I think.
Yeah.
When I've looked into this before, like for all the coaching and stuff, I go through like virtues and vices because it's easy to attribute to.
Sure.
You know, like pick out what yours are and then work out how much where you prioritize them unconsciously, and then if you want to change them around, all of that kind of stuff. So there's that agency there. Anyway, back to the SEP. Likewise, deontological moralities, unlike most views of consequentialism, leave space for the supererogatory.
What the fuck is that?
A deontologist can...
I was not going to say.
A deontologist can do more that is morally praiseworthy than the morality demands. A consequentialist cannot, assuming none of the consequentialist's defensive manoeuvres earlier referenced work. Read the whole article. It's really good. It's a good article. If you want to learn about philosophy, honestly, go onto the SEP.
A deontologist can do more that is morally praiseworthy than morality demands.
Well, so
the morality go above and beyond.
The morality that is demanded in deontological theories is that must.
It's the duty.
We've also got the can.
Yes.
Haven't we? So that's your plus. Those are your bonus points.
Yeah.
You know,
it seems like
do the must, do the mustn't, don't do the mustn't.
Yeah.
There's this grey area where we can earn more points.
Yeah. Well, there's the must and the must not. It seems to take priority.
Yeah.
And the can.
Yeah.
Is also there.
Yeah, that's also there. Those are your bonus points.
Yeah.
If you want to, act in this moral framework, here's some other things that you can do that are quite nice morally.
Sure.
And then off you go. Yeah. For such a pure or simple consequentialist, i.e. someone that has just read greatest good for the greatest number and has not probed into it at any point.
Yep.
If one's act is not morally demanded, it is morally wrong and forbidden. Okay. Whereas for the deontologist, there are acts that are neither morally wrong nor demanded, some, but only some, of which are morally praiseworthy. So I guess
let's have a look at that last bit.
I guess that's the can, isn't it? So you've got things that you can do and can't do. If we really boil this down, don't kill people. Don't assault people, be that physically, sexually, emotionally, or anything like that. Don't steal from people. Absolutely. Let's think of some morally things that we absolutely must do. Be nice, don't be a dick, and we'll have those. Right, those are our musts and must nots. So as long as we're doing all of those, everything else falls into a can.
Okay.
Right. If this was like a really basic theory, so we're allowed to get fish and chips. We haven't murdered anyone.
Yeah.
We haven't physically assaulted anyone for those fish and chips. You better not have anyway. Just pay the man the money. He's trying to do a good job. And we haven't stolen them. Again, pay him the money.
Yeah.
We can have fish and chips. It's not a morally praiseworthy activity to do. But within this very simple theory that we've made, there's nothing to say anything towards charity, for example. So I could pay you some money, or give you some amount of resources should you need them.
Get the fish and chips and give it to someone in need.
That would be a morally praiseworthy act. I don't have to do it. I don't have not to do it.
Yeah.
But that is one of the things that we can do. I can build a shelf for myself. Not a morally praiseworthy activity. I needed a shelf.
Yeah.
I could build that for someone in need of a shelf who cannot build that shelf themselves.
Yeah.
More morally praiseworthy. So I think that's where it's going.
Okay.
With that.
Okay.
As we have seen, back to the SEP, deontological theories all possess the strong advantage of being able to account for strong, widely shared moral intuitions about our duties better than can consequentialism.
Okay.
The contrasting reactions to trolley, fat man, transplant, and other examples earlier, though, so they're all theories in philosophy. They're thought experiments that you need to look into.
So the fat man one is the fat man on the train tracks, right?
The trolley is the trolley experiment.
What's that?
The trolley experiment is the train tracks thing. So you are going down a track and then it diverts into a Y. You've got one person there. If you turn left, it will splat one person that you love, or you go right and it splats 10 people that you don't know.
Is it so? It's someone I know.
It's a more common question to do. You could do it with one person or 10 people, but adding in that you know them has a different moral thing that we go through.
Okay.
You know?
Well, I think the pure thing is
1%.
okay. So the track is going like that,
and then we've got a Y.
and then we've got
you have the thing which changes the track. At the moment, it's going on the Y, but you can change it right or left as you will as that train is coming up. You have to pick though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going.
It's going to go left and hit one person. You can change it to right and hit 10 people. Well, okay. Right. Let's say it's going to hit 10 people. You can change it to one person. It's up to you.
Okay, so what I think this is, if this is what I think it is, so you're on a track so you're on a track and there's a person in the middle of the track who you're going to hit if you do nothing, but you can change the direction of the track. You can like change it and that'll go off, but then you'll hit 10 people.
Yes.
So you're either acting and killing. Well, you're either not acting, but not acting is a choice to act.
It's still a choice,
to kill one person, or you are acting
and killing
10.
Yeah, I think normally they probably do it the other way. Not acting and killing 10, or acting and killing 1. That's an easy. This is
Okay.
Yeah.
We could just look this up.
Trolley problem. Because this is a very classic. This is a very classic. Philosophy experiment.
Yeah.
The trolley problem. The trolley problem is a thought experiment in ethics.
Okay. And then it evolves to like.
Yeah. So as we can see in this picture, I'll show you.
Okay. No. Yeah. It is the 10.
So it needs to be a higher percentage of people.
Yeah.
In the not action.
Should we? Let's.
I'm gonna annotate it. There we are. Right.
Okay.
If you look at this little picture here, I can actually just pull it up, can't I?
That's what I was going to suggest.
Yeah. Idiot. Right. Click in. Oh, well,
10
fantastic.
5 people there.
This is the trolley problem. So here is Matt.
Hello.
So here's Matt here. This is it looks like a tram, actually.
Apparently it's a tram.
If Matt does not, so Matt is in charge of this little lever here, which depends on which way it's going to go. Now, if Matt doesn't act, that tram is going to hit 5 people who are, for some reason, laying on the track. Silly people.
They're just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Matt does act, he will still kill 1 person. Which is the morally correct thing to do?
Right.
Okay. The consequential is instantly going to go 1 person. Bang. Off it goes. Right. Great is good for the greatest number. I've saved 5 people. I've killed 1 person.
Okay.
And then I guess.
I mean, a broken clock is right some of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, because. The moral choice there. Well, I guess. Okay, so the choice is you're either directly killing 1 person, or you're allowing 5 people to die.
Yeah. When you have
the opportunity,
every agency in which to avoid that from happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there's no reason not to pull the lever. In that regard, because by inaction, I mean the choice not to act is still an action, and you could have saved the 5 people, but you didn't.
Yeah.
So morally, you have to pull the lever.
Yeah, but then what if we change that around? So what if we go back to the example that you gave, where it's 1 person on the track to start with?
Yeah.
That is someone you know.
Oh, someone I know.
Now this is someone you know. Originally, that was 6 people that you didn't know.
Okay.
Right? There is someone you know on that original. So we're going to go back.
Let's go back to it.
Oh, where have I got it? Right. So we are now changing up the trolley experiment, which this is not
what they do.
This is not a world first. This has been done before.
Yeah.
So now, in fact, the trolley has been pulled, and Matt, the tram is going to go this way. Okay.
Okay.
This is Lee. This is me. This is me. This is 5 people you don't know.
Okay.
You have no idea who they are. You're never ever going to see them again.
Okay.
These are random people that we've picked up the street. I've picked up 5 people off the street and gone, can you lay down there for a second? I've got a wager with my friend Matt.
Wait, you've put them in that position?
I bet that he's going to kill me. I will need you to stay there and you'll be fine. Somehow I get them into this, right? Who knows? Anyway, for some reason,
you must have made this bet with another person.
Yeah.
Not me.
Oh no, it's you.
Why would you?
Oh, I lied to them. I just said,
okay.
meet me at the train tracks at 12.
Okay.
I just said, come to the train tracks at 12. I've got something amazing to show you.
Okay.
And then I've gone, Matt, we're doing the trolley experiment. If you don't touch that lever, you're going to kill me. These are 5 random people that you've never met. Make a choice. Like in Saw's voice as well. Like, I can't remember how he did it. It's like, make your choice.
Hello, Matt. I want to play a game.
So that is what will happen. If you don't change that lever, it's going to hit someone you know. That could be me, that could be your mum, anyone you know that you have an attachment to. Or normally they amp this up a bit. You can have like 10 people. They give 10 people to it.
Okay.
But I mean, really, number is number. There's more people there.
So I don't know these 5 people.
You have no idea who these people are. You've never met them before at all.
But I do know who the one person is.
You know who this person is. It can be me, it can be anyone. You know them.
Okay.
You have an attachment to them somehow. Regardless of what that attachment is, this problem is harder, isn't it?
It complicates it, because you don't know who these... So a utilitarianist here
is still going to hit that one person. It's still going to hit that one person.
If I were...
Greatest good for the greatest number. 5 people will survive for one person to die.
If I were Matt Hitler, I would still kill you.
Yeah. But it's harder, isn't it?
Yeah. Unless like those 5 people were like Jews.
Mm-hmm.
Or
if you were Matt Hitler, let's just make that abundantly clear.
If I were Matt Hitler,
Not that if he's just Matt. If Matt were Hitler...
Yeah, if Matt were Hitler...
That's why we're doing this.
It might be Jewish. I know Lee is not Jewish. Okay, so...
It compounds the problem, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, because I don't know... It's not knowing the 5, I guess, is the point of that. You know the 1, but you don't know the 5. And you don't know what the 5 could be or have been.
Mm-hmm. So these could be anyone. These could be the greatest saints or the worst fuckers in the universe.
True.
Or a combination of the two and a spectrum in between, which you would imagine would happen, seeing as 5 people are there on the train track.
How much time do I have to decide?
Enough time to make you sweat, I think, Matt. You've got a couple of minutes
to
go through that whole thought process of who are these people, try and work a story in your head to like make them bastards, but then also think, but maybe they're not bastards, maybe they're really nice people, and start trying to make attachments to them, because that's what generally happens.
Okay.
We are out of booze while you think about this. Should we go on to this?
Let's have a think about it.
The tasty one.
Let's open the Ardmore. Hang on.
There we are. Oh,
that's that beautiful sound.
You know it's good when there's a cork. I'm going to smell the cork again now.
I
love smelling the cork.
Should we take a pause and get more of these cacti?
Of course. Guys and girls, and fluids is what I saw in a TV show today. There's a show called Avenue 5, and it's a space liner, space cruise liner.
Okay.
And the captain's on there. It's the guy who played House. He's the captain.
Yeah, I saw an advert for this. It looked like the Orville, but
yeah, that's why I clicked it, because you like the Orville, and you give it sort of praise. And I was like, it looks very similar.
And it looked like a comedy.
Yeah, I think it is. But anyway, he goes up to this group. So basically, it crashes, and it's all gone wrong. Chaos ensues.
Okay.
On the cruise liner.
Sure.
The gravity flips. They all hit the side of the boat, and that changes their trajectory. They're going to get back in 3 years instead of about 2 weeks now. This is a cruise liner. They're fucked. It goes, ladies, gentlemen, and fluids. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I like that.
Okay.
Because obviously it's in the future, and maybe that they just
maybe there are
maybe that just
people
happens.
who are fluid.
Yeah. Like fluid gender.
Oh!
Yeah, gender fluid.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you meant like people who were like made of
not
fluid.
Actual people that were made of water, Matt. There were not
It's the future. It's the future, you never know.
Yeah, there might be. I enjoyed that.
I identify as someone made of water.
Do you? I think you mostly are.
I mostly are.
You mostly are.
Exactly.
Maybe we're all
there's basis.
We are tangenting we're going to have a drink, and then we're going to come back. See what it's going to be some time for us, but it's going to be no time for you at all. Mad how time works, isn't it?
Yeah. If you're fluid too, you know.
Well, you are. You all are.
LGBTF.
Fluid. And we are back. We are refilled.
Indeed.
And we are still puzzling through the trolley problem that I've given Matt. So we are going back to sharing.
Mm-hmm.
More for us than for you. Because
Indeed.
it's been some time for us, but it's been instantaneous for you. So now, this person over here is someone Matt knows.
Mm-hmm.
These 5 people here are someone that, well, they know no one. You know none of these people.
Now, are they fluid? That's the question.
They are all made of fluid.
But do they identify as fluid?
You know nothing about these people.
I know nothing about them.
No.
Okay. Do you identify as fluid? I don't know.
Well,
I'm still on the fluid.
You know everything about me.
Oh, that's true.
You know everything about that. Well, you know as much as you can about this person at the bottom. You have made a connection with them somehow.
Indeed. But I don't know about the other 5.
No, you have no idea about these people. These are 5 completely, they're complete strangers to you.
Right. And I've got enough time to sort of
puzzle through as much as you're doing now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this thing's quite a ways away.
This is imminently coming, though.
All right.
You have enough time to sweat, basically.
Okay.
Let's say the amount of puzzling through you're doing at the moment is the amount of time.
Okay. Well, I'll give an answer. I'll give a definite answer. But first, let's cheers this second thing.
Oh, God. Oh!
Well, the problem's immaterial now because he's choked to death. He's choked to death on his own vape.
Oh, right. Cheers to the good stuff.
Cheers.
Cheers to the trolley problem. Oh, moment of silence for that.
Tickles the tongue.
Oh, tickles everywhere. Oh, it's tickling down me now. You know when you get that moment where it comes down your gullet. Oh, fantastic. Very peaty.
Indeed.
Tasty, tasty. Right.
It'd probably be the 5.
Would it?
I think it would be.
And why is that? What's the puzzling through that's happened?
Well, I think it's a detachment thing that's happened here. I was leaning toward the 5, and I'm sort of going like, well, because it's uncertainty. I don't know who or what they are.
So you've talked your way into that they might be bad.
Well, I mean,
some of them might be bad, and the person that's there.
Well, there's the certainty that you're not.
Yeah.
And the uncertainty that they might be.
Did the uncertainty that they might not be cross your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you talked your way into saying.
But then I was just like,
it might be shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting addition to the trolley problem, isn't it? As soon as you add an attachment to something, it makes it a whole lot harder, doesn't it?
I mean, the moral of the story is if you see Lee on a train track, stay off of any train track nearby. If
Lee makes a bet with you near a train track, just walk away. Walk away, because he knows he's all right. It's a very difficult one, isn't it? But it just makes it harder.
Yeah.
I guess depending on your moral standpoint.
Indeed.
So, right, we were on deontological ethics, weren't we? Because there was there's other thought experiments that you can look at. Fat Man and transplant and other examples that were given earlier. Have a look at those. I imagine Fat Man might be the nuclear weapon, I think.
Is it?
I think so.
I thought Fat Man was a extension of the trolley, where the one person is now a big fat man. Yeah, it's similar.
Right. So someone that hasn't looked after themselves, as opposed to people that have worked on it, but it's their worth in this situation.
And transplant is similar, but with a surgeon, with people dying of organ failure, and one whose organs can save the 5. Wait, hang on. Transplant. A surgeon has 5 patients dying of organ failure, and 1 healthy patient whose organs can save the 5. So this is consequentialism.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
In the right circumstances, a surgeon will be permitted and indeed required by consequentialism to kill the healthy patient to obtain his organs, assuming there are no relevant consequences other than the saving of the 5 and the death of the 1. Likewise, consequentialism will permit, in the case that we shall call Fat Man, that a fat man will be pushed in front of a runaway trolley/train if his being crushed by the trolley will halt its advance towards 5 workers trapped on the track.
So he is never on the track to begin with.
No.
But his dying will kill them.
Right.
I see.
Okay.
So right. So both of those are murder. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Ends justify the means again.
Right.
Here we are.
We've determined what is the greatest good as the surgeon / the person on the track on the station.
Is in those two perspectives, just more people live, regardless of how one person dies. Now, luckily and hopefully, it's a swift death for both of these people. Nevertheless, it is a death that they didn't have to have, should it not have been for consequentialism.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So, finally, deontological theories, unlike consequentialist ones, have the potential for explaining why certain people have moral standing to complain about and hold to account those who breach moral duties.
Okay.
For the moral duties typically thought to be deontological in character, unlike, say, duties regarding the environment, are duties to particular people, not duties to bring about states of affairs that no particular person, as an individual, has an individual right to have realised. So, as you say, it focuses it down.
Right. Okay.
You know, the consequentialist is more big picture. Great's good, great's number. Big picture.
In theory.
When we get down, it sort of zooms in.
Okay.
As we did with the second trolley experiment, we zoom in to your particular thing, which you would have a sort of agency over doing something, and it becomes more us.
And you connect it.
Yeah. Now we come on to the weaknesses. Because there's always weaknesses. It can't be this perfect, can it?
Well, so I mean, well, let's look at the weaknesses.
Well, this is a big one.
There's so many weaknesses.
Jesus Christ! Right, I'm not going to do all of them. I'm going to give the same amount as that. So you've got 4 paragraphs weaknesses.
All right.
On the other hand, deontological theories have their own weak spots. The most glaring one is the seeming irrationality of our having duties or permissions to make the world morally worse. Deontologists need their own non-consequentialist model of rationality, one that is a viable alternative to the intuitively plausible act to produce the best consequences model of rationality that motivates consequentialist theories. So it's too
small, is what they're sort of saying.
Yeah.
And like it said above in the advantages where not regarding things like the environment.
Yeah.
It's
zoomed in, isn't it?
It's more zoomed in.
On the person and their immediate surroundings and relations and attachments and things like that.
Okay.
Until this is done, deontology will always be paradoxical. Patient-centered versions of deontology cannot easily escape this problem, as we have shown. Again, read the whole fucking thing. It is not even clear that they have the conceptual resources to make agency important enough to escape this moral paradox. Yet, even agent-centered versions of this face this paradox. Having the conceptual resources of agency and agent relative reason is not the same as making it plausible just how a secular objective morality can allow each person's agency to be so uniquely crucial to that person.
Okay.
Second, It is crucial for deontologists to deal with the conflicts that seem to exist between the certain duties and between certain rights.
I see.
For more information, see the entry on moral dilemmas. Because there's a whole fucking lot of moral dilemmas, because morality ain't easy.
No.
It's not. School of Ethics, that's why they're still talking about it. Well, they're still making theories because they haven't fucking worked it out yet. Kant's bold proclamation that a conflict of duties is inconceivable, which of course it is.
Okay.
And of course it is the conclusion wanted, but reasons for believing it are difficult to produce. The intending/foreseeing, doing/allowing, causing/aiding, and related distinctions certainly reduce potential conflicts for the agent-centered versions of deontology. Whether they can totally eliminate such conflicts is a yet unresolved question.
Well, that's okay. So a conflict of duties is what did he say? Is inconceivable,
which it absolutely isn't, really.
Well, I mean, there are always conflicts in duty, because you have duty to your job. I mean, the most common one probably is you have a duty to your job
and to your family.
And to your family, yeah.
Like work-life balance, that is a conflict of duty there. You know, you need to make money
to support your family.
To support your family, but you also need to be there with your family and take care of your family and love your family and all of these things. And you know, more often than not, certainly today, we see that work-life balance is skewed, where people always have their phones on, for example, and they're always responding to work, and they're taking their time away from their loved ones and things like that. Straight up, you know, obviously those are good. They've got to be a must in most deontological theories, right? You have a must to be useful in a society, and you have a right to be. Sorry, not right. You have a must. You must. The words are going to be wrong, but you'll get my meaning. Sort of be of service to your family, whichever way that may be. You know. Yeah. You know, be that loving or protection or anything like that. Yeah. And those will always stand at loggerheads. You know, increasingly more as you get higher and higher up a capitalist company. You know, where more time is required of you. You know,
more duty.
You know, if you are always a worker bee, there is going to be more and more required of you there. And while we all have the same amount of time in the day, that time is going to decrease more and more and more and more. Responsibilities / you know, in quotation marks, duties that you have in a job.
Right, indeed. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, so
prima facie. This one talks about prima facie. This is good.
Okay.
One well-known approach to deal with the possibility of conflict between deontological duties is to reduce the categorical force of such duties to that of only prima facie duties. Now, these are like special duties. These are like top-notch.
Okay.
Gotta do. Right?
Okay. Priority.
Yeah. This idea is that the conflict merely between prima facie duties is unproblematic so long as it does not infect what one is categorically obligated to do, which is what overall concrete duties mandate. So prima facie.
Well,
why doesn't it give me the thing? Because I used to remember what this was. It's like your top ones.
Well, I mean, the duty between providing and family. Wait, yeah, the duties of work and the duties of family are both.
Unless stronger moral considerations override, one ought to keep a promise made. So, like, unless there's something stronger.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You got to keep this one.
Okay, so you've got to be, if you've arranged.
These are the big deals.
So like date night.
Not necessarily. Like it depends on the moral framework that you're dealing with. Yeah. Because they're all going to have like a priority basis. For example, if that's a thing that you've got. Yeah. If there's no stronger thing, then you've made a promise to your lover or your partner. Then fucking keep it.
Well, I mean, a prima facie would be like the birth of a child, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't miss the birth of a child.
Yeah, unless perhaps there was. How could we prima facie this one? The imminent death of a loved one, perhaps, and then maybe there would be different moral frameworks for that to say goodbye and things like that.
Sure.
The baby one, that's quite a big one. It's quite a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's quite a biggie. I think that's right up there with the prima facie.
Yeah.
So that's one way in which they deal with it, sort of like a categorization and a prioritization of moral requirements. Someone of your musts and must nots.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are a lot of reasons why deontological theories are negative. I mean, they all have loads of negatives, and that's why we don't all have a unified moral framework in which to deal with. Because
I mean, way more negatives than positives.
Yeah. So that is number 2. That is deontology. What are you thinking of that?
I mean, we obviously didn't go through all of the billions, apparently, of negatives there. There's an interesting thing they said about it conflicting with rights. But I mean, it seems all right.
So yeah. So I mean, as we go back to what it's derived from, it comes from the word duty.
Okay.
So we have certain duties in which we are bound to underneath these theories. Duty to family, as we were saying, duty to family, duty to society. There are these things that we must do. There are these things that we mustn't do. And then we've got our plus ones or plus zeros, like getting a bag of chips.
Right.
There are some things which are just morally bland.
Okay.
in their morality.
All right.
So now we have virtue ethics. This is the final like proper school. So we've got 3 schools. We've got consequentialists, we've got deontologists, and we've got the virtue ethicists.
Okay.
Right. Virtue ethics is currently one of the 3 major approaches to normative ethics. Normative, I can't remember what the word normative means, but someone else.
Standard,
nice.
Most common, probably.
Yeah, probably makes sense. It may initially be identified as the one that emphasizes the virtues or moral character, in contrast to the approach that emphasizes duty or rules, deontology, or that emphasizes the consequences of actions, consequentialism.
Okay.
Suppose it is obvious that someone is in need should be helped. A utilitarian will point to the fact that the consequences of doing so will maximize well-being. A deontologist to the fact that in doing so, the agent will be acting in accordance with a moral rule such as do unto others as you would have to be done by. So like Christian kind of thing.
Yeah.
And a virtue ethicist to the fact that helping a person would be charitable or benevolent. So so this looks at virtues. Is this the right thing to do?
I don't see, in that example, I don't see much of a difference between it and deontology.
No.
I'm going to sneeze.
I couldn't save you. at that point. Anyway.
Apologies, people.
This is not to say
I did warn you
that only virtue ethicists attend to virtues any more than it is to say that only consequentialists attend to consequences or deontologists to rules. Each of the above mentioned approaches can make room for virtues, consequences, and rules.
Okay.
They're not all straight cut because morals is not.
Right.
It cannot be. Because we are people and we all have different experiences, and that melds us into this frame of reality where we believe what is right, what is wrong, and all of that.
Yeah.
That's why they're still fucking talking about it. What distinguishes virtue ethics from consequentialism or deontology is the centrality of virtue within the theory. Whereas consequentialists will define virtues as traits that yield good consequences, and deontologists will define them as traits possessed by those who reliably fulfill their duties, their musts and must-nots. Virtue ethicists will resist the attempt to define virtues in terms of some other concept that is taken to be more fundamental. Rather, virtues and vices will be foundational for virtue ethical theories, and other normative notions will be grounded in them. So we'll have it comes more from character and what is character. And Plato talked about this about 2,500 years ago. Like, can you teach, good, like, ethics and good character? Basically, I think he was like razzing everyone. It was Plato's Meno. If you know, that's a good thing to read. That's a good fundamental philosophical text to read.
Okay.
We begin by just blah 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 blah. Right? Do we have We have objections to virtue ethics because let's have a look at those.
Do you know any pros or cons? Then?
No, we're just going.
So we're just going to the cons.
We're just going straight.
There are no pros to virtue ethics. No. So I mean.
Well, I think
it doesn't seem that much different in deontology.
I think it's harder to define because deontology comes from outside someone. Virtue ethics comes from within someone. So with deontology, you're looking at rules. This is what you must do. This is what you can do, be it good, bad, or neutral. This is what you must not do.
So it's like the societal and the, It's like the societal and the personal.
Societal, religious, anything like that. Yeah. Someone is giving you a set of rules for you to stand by. You must do these, you must not do these. All of these things you can do or can't do, we don't really care.
Right.
Some of them are good, some of them are, a bit dodgy, some of them are just morally vanilla.
So virtue could clash with
virtue comes from
the
within.
rules.
I think so, yeah. So this comes from within. What is good character? And then I guess it's hard to have pros in that because that is a very personal thing.
Subjective.
It's very subjective, isn't it? Because I guess a lot of us could agree on many virtues and many vices. Our prioritization of those characters and qualities and how much we act on them is going to be very, very different.
And the ideas of right and wrong are going to be different,
as we know. Yeah, it's bloody grey. This world is not good and bad. Then there's a real individualist bent to this.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Yeah.
So I think it's hard to put that into a pro.
Okay.
Right. So let's go.
I think where a lot of the clashes we're having at the moment is like between different political and social ideas is coming from the sort of an attempt to transpose virtue ethics into
a set of rules.
Into a set of rules.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the word again?
Deontology.
Deontological
theory.
Into a deontological framework.
I think so, absolutely. So I don't really want to say it, but like the left and the right have these two different things. But let's just say like social justice warriors and what would be a right side one?
Oh God.
I don't care who they are. They don't need to be good, they don't need to be bad.
Trying to think of it.
Let's just say let's say MAGA hats. People that wear MAGA hats and social justice warriors.
Well, MAGA. Let's say MAGA hats and pussy hats.
Pussy hats.
Yeah, the pink hats that look like. It's like the.
We are finding this. I'm stopping sharing just to search for this.
Yeah.
Pussy hat.
Yeah,
this is going to be hilarious.
We don't want to put something ridiculous. We don't want to put something awful.
I imagine it's the Pussy Hat Project.
I think so.
I would imagine.
It's like a pink hat.
For women's rights and political resistance, wear the hat.
There's the hat.
So this is the Pussy Hat. Sounds like Pussycat.
Hey.
I like that.
Yeah.
Right.
And because it's mostly about women's rights, of course, pussy.
Yeah, of course. So this is the Pussy Hat.
And
I imagine that's tiny little cats on there.
Hopefully.
Imagine that's tiny little cats on there.
Hopefully they're not little vaginas, or we're going to get otherwise our video's going to get.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't need to know what the Pussy Hats are about. I just need two things that people know about. So we have the Pussy Hats and the MAGA hats.
Sure.
So now, generally, I would like to believe that everyone has the same kind of virtues and same kind of vices. We honour truth, we honour this, we honour that.
Yeah.
Let's say we all have 10.
Well, they come from a very similar starting point, which is the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So let's say we have 10. The Pussy Hat Project is going to have the top one. So their one was like political resistance. So
well, this sort of appeared shortly after the Harvey Weinstein stuff.
Okay,
I believe.
So let's say like one of their virtues would be, how'd you put like sexual assault into like a virtue?
Let's look at their mission statement there. So the Pussy Hat Project is dedicated to advancing women's rights and human rights throughout the
Okay.
Separated those. Women's rights and human rights throughout the arts.
Education and
respectful dialogue.
Okay.
So
equality.
We're just going by the mission statement here.
Yeah. Let's say equality, bang on top number one, right?
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, looking at like, so we've got education and respectful dialogue immediately. Mm-hmm. So respectful dialogue, that's a virtuous thing, right?
Can we put that into a word?
Oh God.
What's where you're nice? Where you're being nice?
Respect.
No. Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fuck it. Respect. Respect. Number one.
Sure.
Let's say
that's a virtue.
One. Yeah. I don't know if it's your top one. Really, I don't care for this example.
Okay.
Pussy Hat Project. Number one. Respect. Now, MAGA hats is Make America Great Again. So that is what I was going to talk about originally, which was the liberal nationalism.
Okay.
That's a very liberal nationalist thing. Make America great again. Okay. So liberal nationalism, just sort of box it off as sort of like a soundbite, is let's look after our own people first before we look after everyone else. So MAGA, Make America Great Again. Let's sort out America before we sort out the third world, before we sort out the second world, before we send out foreign aid and things like that. We need to help our poor people first, and we need to help our people that are disenfranchised first. And then once we've got our house in order, we are in a better space to help everyone else.
Okay.
Right?
I'm with you. Okay. Well, that reminds me immediately of Jordan Peterson. It's like clean your room.
Bed first.
Clean your room before you start trying to change the world.
I think if you put it into a microcosm, I think that would be very similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't help others if you haven't helped yourself first. I mean, I would say that's as near to an absolute truth as you can get.
Well, if you haven't been able to help yourself, how can you help anyone else?
There is no way that you're going to help anyone else effectively.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean that. So we're looking at helping people. So maybe let's say MAGA is charity, but with addendums to it.
Well, I mean, right? When you look at it through liberal nationalism, it's. I mean, I suppose it's sort of charity, but I mean, you're looking at prioritizing. Well, I mean, it's like you said, it's prioritizing the disadvantaged in the states that get ignored.
Yeah.
In the middle of the country.
So, yeah. So I mean, this is respect.
I mean,
this is respect with addendums in the Pussy Hat Project. The Pussy Hat Project is respect within certain addendums first, and then after, because as we've seen, women's rights and human rights. So I imagine we're women's first because it's a women's group, then on to helping out. Let's sort our group out first. So I guess this is kind of like a liberal nationalism thing, but if you need to change the word nationalism for something else, so liberal something, right?
Yeah, except you're going with immutable characteristics instead of I mean, I suppose in a way, liberal nationalism is doing that because that's. You don't control where you're born. That's an immutable characteristic as well. Yeah,
and it's just one that we've sort of is more ingrained into us, isn't it? You know, I guess.
I mean, sure. I mean, they're both.
I guess gender is as well. Absolutely. Yeah, of course. You don't go, I'm a British person first and then a man second. I would hope anyway. No. I would prefer to be a man first and then I prefer to be lots of different things. But anyway, let's say respect on the Pussy Hat Project is their top one with addendums. Okay. In a kind of liberal nationalism kind of thing. Yeah. And then we have the MAGA hats on the other side, which is charity, again, with addendums.
Now, when you put it that way, there's no reason they should clash.
No, absolutely not.
So why are they clashing?
Because this is coming from within themselves. They all have a shared mission. They all have a shared virtue. I value respect. Oh shit, I value respect too. Now, if these people were to clash, then they sort of come up and go, this needs to be like, everyone needs to fucking do this first. No, we need to do respect first. No, we need to do charity first. So we're arguing over semantics at this point. We're arguing over the semantics of virtue and which is more important. I think, anyway.
I suppose.
I've always said, just before I forget,
I suppose.
You go.
Where they're going to clash with the MAGA is on the figurehead of MAGA, which is Trump, right?
I guess that would be a big deal.
Because of the grabbing by the pussy thing.
Yeah.
And I imagine grabbing by the pussy hat, I imagine there is a relation between the two. I imagine there's a relation between the two things. It would not surprise me if this happened because of his rise.
Yeah.
So they have diametrically opposed themselves to Trump and therefore MAGA, the MAGA hats. But there's no reason for them to be... There's no reason for the... I mean, if you take him out of it, there's no reason for the two to actually clash.
Morally,
yeah.
So if we're talking just morally, then no, there is no reason really for. If we're talking about like virtues, because I think virtues are largely universal. They're gonna be like up and down more. We're gonna prioritize them differently. I imagine maybe if we like wrote our top 10 virtues, I don't imagine we're gonna have the 10 in a row exactly the same.
Probably
I imagine
not.
they're all going to be there. Like if you've got the top 10 virtues, I imagine we're going to have those both the same. But maybe I'm going to, have respect first, and you're going to have charity first. And in this, it would not be an issue. We're trying to do the best we can.
Well, I mean,
I've always thought,
I feel like
just because you cut me off last time, because I need to get this out, because I always say we're consistently we're having the wrong arguments all the time. We're always having the wrong arguments.
Sure.
And we're missing, I think we get caught up in things, and not to say that this is the wrong thing, about women's rights and stuff like that. Like the whole thing about, we talked about it last episode, didn't we, where we found out Hollywood was as bad as the pornos. People were getting fucked for jobs and just victimized and everything like that. Not good. So that's not what I'm saying. It's that we're fighting against each other over these things, where we should just go, right, okay, no one fucking likes this. That if no one else can sort out, should we do it ourselves? Is there something that we can do together?
Okay.
Where there's a lot of us to get. I also like charity. I don't think it's the best one. I prefer respect, but how can we sort of work together and sort this out rather than shouting at each other?
Okay.
There's too much energy spent on the clash rather than the action. There's too much effort put into that, and we should be making steps forward, because otherwise we're just going to keep fucking arguing till the end of time. And again, the poor person in me is coming out and going, the elitists, they'll keep fucking earning money, and we'll just keep they'll keep us divided, and then we'll just keep fucking arguing. Anyway,
well, I mean, there's two things then.
Thanks, Pussy Hat Project and MAGA Hats. You have been a fantastic philosophical and ethical example. They were probably a bit too close for me to make the point. Possibly. As best as I could. We should have maybe picked one from here and one from there, because they are both intrinsically linked to the head of state.
Well, I mean, take an American suburban white lady, like a soccer mum.
Yep.
And then her virtues and ethics are going to be different from a man in Somalia who's been driven to piracy through poverty.
But how much? If you really if you pull away everything from them and you just had virtues, what they believe to be good.
Well, if you pull away the acts, they
just
do.
Everything else. So you've got this woman who's a soccer mum. You've got this Somalian pirate. Now there are going to be things that they believe to be good. They may have different. Not understandings and different
methods to achieve their virtues,
or definitions of what that means to them. Maybe the Somalian pirate really values charity, but charity means stealing from a really expensive cruise ship and taking it back to the village and feeding 50 people. That he still values charity. He's not necessarily doing it in the best way, but there's still that charity within him to do that. Not saying that Somalian pirate is good or bad. I'm just saying that if he were to value charity, it would be being that Robin Hood figure.
The important thing here is that he believes, according to his virtues, he's doing the right thing.
I believe in charity. I believe in giving to people that need it.
He's acting in accordance with his
However, by ends justifying the means here, being, maybe, he's got a bit of a consequentialist bent on it. He robs he takes people hostage, robs them for fucking loads of money, takes all their jewels, goes back, sells it for enough money to feed his village for, a week or whatever like that. Charity is still there. Now, the soccer mum, she's going to value charity as well. She may be, I don't know, she may be a Christian, so that needs to be something that she does. Or there's one that really, really, really values charity, isn't it? Is it like the people that knock on your door?
Oh, Jehovah's Witnesses.
The Jehovah's Witnesses. I think that's a big part of their religion, where you've got to give a certain amount away all the time, and it's a big part of Islam. In fact, that's like one of their tenets, is to always help someone in need.
Okay.
Yep. Let's say the soccer mum is a Muslim.
Okay.
Yeah, she really fucking values charity as well, but that just her charity is taking 10% out of her job at the bank and giving it to the mosque.
Okay.
They both value charity. It's just done in very different ways. So virtues, they're going to be largely the same between people, I believe. They'll be prioritised differently. Maybe Somalian pirate's got it at number 3. Muslim soccer mum has got it at number 2. But it's still there.
All right.
What do you think? Does that jive with you?
No, I get it.
Largely, virtues and vices are the same. Just our means are a bit different to getting there. But I absolutely get what you mean with that they're trying, that our virtues are now just sort of like our number one virtue is being pushed on us. This is our most important one. No, this is our most important one. Let's have an argument about that. Well, no, let's just be good.
Well, I mean, we actually could have done it even easier with men's rights and women's rights.
We could have.
That's way easier.
Oh, so much easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck, why do we go with the Pussy Hat Project?
Well, I mean, they're women's rights.
And MAGA.
MAGA aren't men's rights. MAGA are just, we love Trump.
Yeah, you just love Trump. Make America great again.
Make America great again,
yeah.
But
quintessential liberal nationalism.
That's
what it is. And a lot of people are. It's a very popular ethical standpoint.
Yeah.
And really, really popular.
Labour are going in that direction, aren't they?
I would, without reading any of the manifesto, I would imagine, but both.
Well, not from the last manifesto, but they're going that direction now.
But I'd imagine the Tories are as well, because they really fucking push that as well.
Yeah.
Apart from the let's get Brexit. I'm not going to say the last word because it makes me fucking sick.
Done.
Ugh.
Why is it done?
No, it's get Brexit done. Like, fucking say it properly.
Why doesn't Brexit make you sick?
It all makes me sick. Well, aren't we almost meant to? We're almost meant to be.
Well, that's liberal nationalism, isn't it?
We said it.
Well, that's fine.
We said the word.
That's fine.
Said the naughty word.
It's fine. but that's an extension then of liberal nationalism, isn't it? Because
absolutely.
That's to do with sovereignty and to do with
actually thinking about it. That's a really political thing at the moment, isn't it? Sort of really pushing, really, what is it? Is an ethical standpoint of liberal nationalism, where we are. I can't remember what it's called, but it's where we see all of the world going, where it's sort of becoming more like populist, and there's another one like nationalist, basically. Yeah, and that's what it is. Liberal nationalism is just the philosophical aspect of the political agenda that is being pushed in a lot of places at the moment. Let's fucking shut down, sort our shit out, and then maybe help everyone else later. We'll definitely do it, wink, wink, sort of thing.
Well, that's the a negative thing of it can be that you just turn insular and you turn inwards, and you don't,
and you go Children of Men,
and you go Children of Men. Yeah.
If you haven't seen the film Children of Men, watch it. Good film.
So when you look at a country like Hungary, especially.
Yeah.
So Hungary.
Because you spent 2 years there, all in all, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hungary's a place that gets a lot of flack for not accepting refugees, but they have so many problems of their own at the moment. Like they have a big problem with the Roma.
Yeah, the Roma.
Like the relations between the Roma
and
the Caucasian Hungarians or whatever is really, really hostile. It's
very frictiony. It's very tense.
The Roma are way poorer than everyone else, and you've got to do something about inserting a bunch of migrants into that situation.
I mean,
adding a third group of any kind into that situation is just going to make it worse.
There's just more stuff to deal with, isn't it? And I mean, being there, is Hungary a first world country? Surely it's not.
Second.
We're talking second, aren't we?
Yeah, I'd say
which doesn't mean
developing.
Which doesn't mean it's like fucking like terrible. Go to Hungary. It is a beautiful place.
Hungary's great.
My favourite city in the world is Budapest. I absolutely love it. But then, also Bucharest is a fantastic city. But Romania is a big fucking place, and it's very fucking different out in the sticks. And your first year was in the sticks.
Yes.
In Budapest, wasn't it? Not Budapest, Hungary.
In Hungary, yeah.
And I imagine that's a lot fucking different from being in the capital city, isn't it?
Well, that was, you saw the big divide there between the Roma and the rest of the Hungarians, because about a third of that town was Roma, and you couldn't go to that side of town.
Right.
You could, but you'd get beat up.
Yeah.
You went to that side of town.
So there was a real division.
Yeah.
Like what we hear about where you can't go to certain places in Birmingham here and things like that.
Yeah.
It was a legit thing.
Legit.
There. You cannot go there.
Yeah. Because you get beat up.
Yeah.
But that could have been fearmongering at the same time.
Yep.
I had a student there, a private student who was 14, and he used to go to the Roma side of town because they'd let him gamble.
Right. Yeah.
They'd let him bet on the football and he'd make money on the football. He's a YouTuber now, actually, that guy.
Right.
I believe.
Yeah.
But and quite a popular one. But they let him go there and gamble because they were like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You got money.
Hopefully, we'll take your money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'll take your money. But a lot of the street sweepers in Tisavashvili, where I was, and in Nyíregyháza, which was the nearby city, were all Roma. In fact, those jobs have been set aside for the Roma. Right. I believe it's been my memory.
And I'm not entirely sure.
I'm almost 30.
I'm not sure how much it would have changed because the new government came in after you left or just as you left.
Oh no, they've been in fucking ever.
Right, so they're
Viktor Orban,
they've been in forever. Just keeps going.
Well, yeah,
because I remember
forever.
I remember the last one that I came over and we found that big billboard. I think we were on the way to the shooting gallery, and there was that one one of them was tearing down the wall or something.
It was,
which was originally. So basically, what happened?
What it was it was a pro-Orban one, and it was the border fence.
Yeah.
It was the Liberals cutting down the border fence,
which was made after the migrant crisis of 2015.
Yes,
that's when I was out there.
Yeah, no, they were shooting tear gas at them.
Yeah,
to keep them away.
Yeah,
it
was an interest. So I actually travelled through Europe through the migrant crisis, and I was going down as everyone was coming up. So that was a very interesting place to be. By the time I got to Budapest, a lot of them had already moved. Everyone that was in that bit, which was in what's the big fucking station in Budapest?
Oh, really big. Colletti. I used to live near Colletti. And it was full of during the crisis, it was full of migrants that were being basically shepherded onto trains and sent elsewhere.
Just get out. Yeah.
So we don't want you here.
Yeah.
Back off.
Yeah. Which was really interesting because I got a train from Colletti to Bucharest, a night train for 13 hours, and I was in second class. Never, ever fucking do that ever. It was the most horrible trip of my life.
Really?
Just sitting on a chair for 13 hours trying to get to sleep over the middle of the night. And there was all like construction works on the train, so we were moving about 20 miles an hour. Every 3 hours, like every 2 or 3 hours, though, there was Romanian guards checking everyone's passports. I saw a migrant family get kicked off of my train. That was, that's a whole other story. That was like a real bittersweet story. Like the kids didn't know like what was happening, so they were having fun. It's like 11 o'clock in the night, and they're running up and down the train. And I'm like, I want to get to sleep, but at least these kids are having fun. Like at least they're happy, and like their mum and dad just are fucking knackered. Like obviously because they've like just fucking like traipsed from Syria or whatever, and they're just like absolutely fucking knackered. Like they smell, obviously, like, because they like, where are you going to get fucking
traveling
wash
for the whole time?
You know, where are they going to get fucking wash? And I'm like, fuck, this is so horrible. But they were having fun and everything, and they got kicked off, but they would consistently be on there. So all of these people getting chucked onto bus and trains in Budapest, and then just getting kicked off. So they would be
getting kicked off a train.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, they would be on every about 2-3 hours. They'd be like, papers, please. And I'm like, come on, I'm obviously not a migrant.
Yeah.
You've
checked me 4 times already.
Eventually, I put it on the side. I went to sleep, and I did not care if anyone stole my passport. I was just like, just fucking take it from me. Look at it. Look at my face, because I went like that. I just sort of, so they could see my face, and then I think I got away with the last 2. But yeah, so they ended up, in the fucking wilderness of Romania, somewhere, and I don't know where they got.
If they're going somewhere, presumably they were dropped off at somewhere.
No.
Or just like in the sticks.
No, just like it wasn't a station. Because we were moving about 20 miles an hour, so they'd get on at just like a random place, check, like do the whole row of carriages. The only time I saw it, they just like fucking, they took them off. They were like, "You got to come with us," and off they went off the train. Never saw them again.
Maybe it's like they're just trying to get as far as they can.
Yeah,
just like baby steps to wherever we're going.
I felt really bad for them because they were the only ones that were going like east. Because Budapest to Bucharest is like straight east. It's not north. I'm like, you were on the wrong fucking train. You want to be going towards like Berlin. Everyone was going to Berlin, weren't they?
Yes.
I'm like, you are going the wrong.
Yeah, because they've been let in.
You are going the wrong fucking way. Shit.
Or is it going to be easier to get places from Romania than Hungary?
Maybe. I don't know. I think about it sometimes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I haven't thought about it. Yeah, I haven't thought about it for a while.
But
occasionally, like since then, like I'd occasionally think about them, and then I'll think about them again. I really hope they're okay. Again, it's the trolley problem, isn't it? It's the trolley problem. As soon as you sort of have some kind of attachment to someone, you're like, oh, I want them to be okay. When there's millions of migrants every year, I want that.
True, yeah.
I want those 4 people that I met briefly to be okay.
Well, yeah. I mean,
liberal nationalism. That's where we were.
That's where we were. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and turning virtues into rules, taking virtue ethics into deontology.
Right. So
that's where we are.
Well, I mean, particularly the laws surrounding speech is that put your virtues into. Like your virtues supplant. Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, maybe that's the clash between deontology and rights.
Or maybe it's just like
free speech.
Or maybe it's just like 2 different types of deontology. Because deontology is rules. So we've seen consequentialism is the ends. The ends justify the means. What ends?
Yeah.
We're defining on ends, the consequences of something. It doesn't matter about the means, just get there by any fucking means necessary. Then we have deontology rules, what you must do, what you mustn't do, and what you can do. So we have these different. So I guess what we're having at the moment, and then virtue ethics is what we believe to be good in ourselves, which personally I believe that we all have the same script that we're reading off on that with virtues. They're going to be in different places. We're going to be prioritized differently.
Yeah.
Generally, we're going to have this. We're going to come to a consensus on what things are good.
I think I don't necessarily agree with that, but I can't think of an example.
Yeah.
I think there would be crossover. I think you said 10 before, right? People would maybe have like a base of 10.
Yeah.
I think probably everyone would share at least 5. But not all of them.
Because I think the most that has ever been like listed is about 13. And what I mean by everyone sharing the same thing, I mean the very base virtue, the word.
Yeah, sure.
Not the means or anything like that.
I mean, okay, so immediately here we've got. We're not sharing the screen, I don't think, are we?
Not yet. I can though.
So we've got. What are the 13 virtues? What are the 12 virtues? What are the 10 virtues? So let's go with 13. Let's have the most we can possibly have.
This was old Benji. This was Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
And he was bang on virtues. He used to carry around a book.
Okay.
And he would do one every week. So he would do it 4 times a year.
Okay.
So temperance.
So hang on, this 17 when? 1726.
At the age of 20, he had a book.
Are we still going with these?
Not necessarily. There's like 7, there's 10. So there's different people that have done these. They're going to be very similar.
All right. Well, let's go with the 13.
There's the most here. So temperance is moderation.
Okay. Eat not to dullness, drink not to elevation.
So do everything in moderation.
He was American, wasn't he?
He was indeed. He was the kite man.
Right. So I need to old American.
In 1726. Oh, actually, no. Do Doc. Do you remember Doc?
I need. Hang on. No, that's your pen. Can't do that. Hang on. No, fuck.
There's another pen. You can have another pen.
I need something that's a pipe.
Pen. Have a pencil. I'd say use a battery, but that might
that might go horribly wrong. I wish I'd. I don't want to.
What, had your pipe on you?
I don't want to put. Yeah, I wish I had my pipe on me. No, I wish I hadn't, because I don't want to sully your pens with my mouth.
You can sully whatever you want, baby. Mouth. That's Dr. Carmichael coming out of me. He always says that. Filthy Dr. Carmichael.
I want your filthy mouth. That's what he said. That's his catchphrase. There we go. Got a pen.
Right, you got a pen. So
okay.
This is from a role-playing session in the Deep South after the what was it? After the well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Right. So temperance.
Temperance. Eat not to dullness. Drink not to elevation.
So Matt's also acting as if he's smoking a pipe at the moment. Imagine him as
Doc always smokes a pipe.
Doc's from the West, the Wild West.
From the South.
From the South. He was with the obviously with the Confederates.
He was a Confederate, but it don't matter no more.
This means more to you.
We're moved on from
means
Confederate and the other one.
This means more to me than it does to you guys. I really don't care.
We're moved on.
Right. Anyway, number 2, silence.
Silence.
Come on, Doc.
Silence. Speak not, but what may benefit others or yourself. Avoid trifling conversation.
You keep going, Doc. This is great.
Order. Are we not going to talk about these at all?
Right. So we got temperance, we got silence, we got order, we got resolution, frugality, industry, sincerity, justice, moderation.
I meant to talk about one at a time. I didn't mean list them all off.
Chastity and humility. Right.
I didn't mean. Yeah.
All right, Doc. Behave yourself. Right. Temperance. What do you think about temperance, Doc?
Calm. Fucking hell.
What do you think about temperance, Doc? Do you agree with temperance?
I thought I was just reading them out as Doc.
No, you got. Yeah, come on.
I've got to be Doc for the rest of the podcast.
For like a few of them, because I'm enjoying it.
Lord have mercy.
What do you think about temperance, Doc? About moderation? As a virtue, not as a personal way, because you do enjoy that pipe.
I would agree.
You agree with it?
I would agree.
Yeah. Silence is an odd virtue, isn't it? You can be Matt now if you want. Silence is an odd virtue, isn't it? I get it.
Speak not, but what may benefit others or yourself. Avoid trifling conversation.
Like I've heard that a lot. Like sort of that thing. Like don't break the silence unless you've got something like to add or to be. I mean, basically, this is where this podcast was born from, wasn't it? We come away from the small talk because we know each other too fucking well. And rather, let's talk about the three main schools of, ethics in philosophy.
Yeah. And
have a conversation about that. So,
sure.
I mean, I don't necessarily know if it's a virtue. I think that's just probably a good way to, I don't know, what you can get out of that as a...
Speak not, but what may... I mean, that's almost like the sharing of knowledge. I don't know why it's called silence. Avoid trifling comments. Speak the truth and speak relevant.
That's good. So truth and relevance. Sure. Truth is definitely a virtue, isn't it?
Yes.
That is going to be written in all religious texts, be truthful and everything like that. So let's call silence truth.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just had to make sure that wasn't going to be repeated. Okay.
Order.
Let all your things have their places. Let each part of your business have its time.
It's fantastic.
It's getting better as
it is.
The more I do. All right.
You're out, Doc.
Am I? Oh, no, I've got a little bit.
You got a little bit more super song.
I think the whiskey's helping.
God damn, that's good.
Order. Ooh.
Would you like one more? And would you like one more of the blended or one of your fancies?
I mean, I've saved this Christmas whiskey for you and Mr. Carl.
I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say no, Matt. So what could we say order is? Because silence is truth. Order. Let all your things have their place. Let each part of your business have its time.
You use your time wisely.
It's almost like awareness as well, isn't it? Awareness of where your things should have their place and let each part have its time. It's an awareness of your life and things like that. I wouldn't. Again, it doesn't feel like a virtue, but we'll keep it at that. Resolution.
Well, I mean, no, I can see it. It's like dedicate. It's like dedicate yourself to all parts of your. Dedicate yourself to the things that matter. It's what I'm interpreting anyway from it. Sort of open to interpretation. It's quite, poetic-ish.
Well, I mean, and this is where we come from character, i.e. virtue ethics, to deontology. Temperance. Like eat not to dullness, drink not to elevation. Now
that is very ruly. Isn't it?
That it's very ruly, but it's also very open to interpretation.
Sure.
I mean, especially for drink and food. Like how much does that mean for me and you? I don't know if it's going to be similar. I don't know if it's going to not.
I get what he means here. It's like okay, no, I get what he means. It's like avoid greed.
Yeah, it's moderation. I.e., don't be greedy.
Yeah,
but then
enjoy,
but don't overindulge.
Don't overindulge.
Overindulgence is the key here. But it's how far we push that envelope, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll know your limits.
Yeah, and limits limits are different for everyone. But and where that's going to fall in our in our top 10.
Sure.
Anyway,
/ top 13.
Top 13 resolution.
Resolve to perform what you ought. Perform without fail what you resolve.
So that is we're talking about that's like kind of duty, isn't it? A duty to something. So do what you're gonna do what you say you're gonna do. Don't do what you say you're not gonna do. If you say you're gonna do something, do it.
Ought is synonymous with should.
It's integrity, isn't it? That's integrity.
I'm going back to modal verbs. Ought and should have the same. So that's like do what you perceive to be right, I guess. Follow good advice. Follow your own advice perform without fail what you resolve.
That sounds like integrity to me. That sounds
like integrity.
That sounds like integrity to me. I say that I'm going to meet you at a certain time. I must do that. I say that I'm going to be at the birth of my child. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
It's that sounds like integrity to me. We probably need to write these down, don't we?
Quite possibly.
Right. Temperance, moderation.
I would use my pen, but it's a pipe. So I can't.
Moderation.
Silence. Our translations.
Silence was
truth.
I don't think we changed order, did we?
I don't think so. I mean, it was like time management, basically.
Yeah. Order. The next one was integrity.
Yeah. Number five.
Number five.
Frugality. Mm-hmm. Make no expense, but to let me take that again. Frugality. Make no expense, but to do good to others or yourself, i.e., waste nothing. Waste nothing.
Yeah. So it sounds a bit like charity, but also to not be wasteful.
That's sort of both, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
Don't be wasteful.
I guess frugality is the best word we can get on that.
I mean,
I think so. I think he's knocked that one out of the park. Frugality.
Yeah. Bravo, Benjamin Franklin.
Industry.
Lose no time. Be always employed in something useful. Cut off all unnecessary actions.
That one has got a lot in it.
It does.
That one has got an awful lot in it. Lose it. So don't waste your time. Be useful. Don't do unnecessary nonsense.
Yeah.
That is an awful. I like that one.
Yeah.
I really like that one. I'm keeping industry.
Yeah.
Because I don't know a better way to say that, because that's a very loaded virtue. That's a very, very loaded virtue there. Benji.
So we've got order, which is manage your time. An industry, which is be useful. Manage your time.
Be useful with that time. Yeah. Be very conscious of the time that you have. Aware of that time. Oh, right. Come on, Doc. Number 7.
Sincerity. Use no hurtful deceit. Think innocently and justly. And if you speak accordingly. Slipped a little bit there. That's fine.
No, that was good. I like that. Yeah. So use no hurtful deceit. Think innocently and justly. And if you speak accordingly.
And if anyone needs voice work, you know where to phone me.
Yeah, of course. Matt's here all week.
I'm here all week.
Yeah. Sincerity. I like sincerity because that's like authenticity.
Yeah.
And that's something that I hold very dear to myself. I think that we have these masks on all the time. So I like sincerity. Sincerity speaks of authenticity to me. So we'll keep sincerity as it is. And that, the next one, justice. I'm not going to change that.
Justice. Wrong none by doing injuries or omitting the benefits that are your duty. Your duty? What was that? Work it out. Tap your pipe, pen.
Yeah, I don't need to change justice. Justice is a straight up virtue, isn't it? But now we have moderation. But moderation, we have the same as temperance.
Well, how is it different? Let's see. Moderation. Avoid extremes. Forbear resenting injuries so much as you think they deserve. Ooh. So that's resentment.
This is wider.
That's resentment. Yeah. That's not moderation. That's resentment.
So this is like how can we make that wider than resentment? Because resentment is almost towards a person. Isn't
Let things go. Avoid extremes. Forbear resenting injuries so much as you think they deserve.
Because it speaks to almost speaks to justice, and it almost speaks to temperance as well. It's kind of widening it out, isn't it, into sort of like a personal thing. Because temperance is moderation, and moderation is more about the greed of resources and, you know, food and drink and trinkets and baubles and things like that. But this is more a personal.
It's more emotional.
Yeah.
It is a lot more emotional.
So this is almost like wrath, if we put it into the 7 deadly sins, isn't it? Like the opposite of wrath.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
You know?
It's like maybe
come on, wordsmith.
Yeah.
This is your realm.
Extremes, forbear resenting injuries so much as you think they deserve. It's almost like take a breath. It's almost like don't.
It's interesting, isn't it? Right, I'm gonna star moderation because there is a word there.
Because it's not. I was thinking like self-control, but that's more stoicism, and that's not what this is saying, really.
No. It's like
it's not saying avoid emotions. It's
saying give them the required amount of reaction, but not over that.
Kinda. It's like think over your extreme negative emotions. It's like think over your resentment. Puzzle out why you resent something.
I had one on the tip of my tongue there and I lost it. Anyway, Doc, number 10.
Number 10. Cleanliness. Tolerate no uncleanliness in body, clothes, or habitation. Clothes spelled in the old way.
With an OATHS.
Don't spell clothes without an A.
You don't do that no more. I'm not as good as doing this as Matt is.
All right. Oh, yes. All right. I mean, that's obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Be neat and tidy and don't smell.
Yeah. I mean, you know, do that. It's a good thing to do. Number 11, please, Doc.
Tranquility. Be not disturbed at trifles. I immediately pictured trifles.
They definitely didn't have trifles back in Benji's day, did they?
No.
Be not disturbed by nice desserts or at accidents common or unavoidable at the dinner table.
Thank you for finishing that one for me. Well, there's the tangent there of why a trifle is called a trifle. If a trifle is such a bloody good thing.
I know. Do you really like trifle as well?
Trifle's good.
Fucking love trifle, man. Love it.
I mean,
I absolutely love it.
It's so simple and yet elegant.
My nan makes a fucking banging trifle. Oh, I really like a trifle, especially like the small pots that you can get where you get 3 packs.
Yes,
I will bang through a 3-pack of trifles like no one's business. Absolutely no one's business. But then we're talking to moderation, aren't we?
Then we're talking to moderation.
So where is that coming in my list? Because what we're going to do after this, we're going to mark these.
Oh, we're going to do a ranking.
We're going to do a ranking. We're going to do a ranking activity.
Oh boy.
Right. So cleanliness, and then this was tranquility. I like tranquility. There's probably a better word for it now. But this is just to like be level-headed. Which
be centered.
Again, it kind of comes back to that moderation thing, doesn't it?
Kind of.
You know, but it's a different vein of it.
Tranquility.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll keep it.
We'll keep it strong.
Next one, please, Doc.
Ooh, chastity. Rarely use venery, but for health or offspring. Never to dullness, weakness, or the injury of your own or another's peace or reputation.
Well, me.
Interesting.
Well, me and Dr. What was his name?
Oh, it's Doc.
No, the other doctor, the naughty doctor.
Oh, Carmichael, Dr.
Carmichael.
Dr. Carmichael, that swine.
Me and Dr. Carmichael are going to be placing chastity fucking low down there. I enjoy that shit because I'm part of the Dirty 30 Club. But no, chastity is always like a big thing, isn't it?
Doc's approaching the 60s.
Doc ain't got no more time for that shit.
Doc ain't got no time for no 379 person.
No temptresses. No temptresses or sirens in the night.
No, sir.
And now we have one
Just
more.
me and my Bible.
Go on then, Doc. We're on the 13th.
Humility. Imitate Jesus and Socrates. Imitate Jesus and Socrates. Be humble. Unity, be humble.
Yeah. Who did that song? Be humble. Was it The Weeknd?
Be humble.
Be humble. I don't know.
Right.
Right.
The Weeknd do a song called Be Humble. He's not humble.
Well, none of them really are they?
No.
Really.
Well, it's what's the poem? The poem that I love that I've forgotten the name of.
I don't know.
I didn't give you
just yet.
I didn't give you much information.
No, we have not joined our minds just yet.
Walk with kings, but don't lose the common touch.
Right. So what we're going to do?
What's more, you'll be a man, my son.
We're going to find the poem, and we're going to do a ranking exercise, and we're going to come back. Okay. So see you in a bit.
Rudyard Kipling.
Okay. Right. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We have ranked our.
I dropped my pen pipe.
He's dropped his pen pipe.
You got it back.
But we have ranked our 13 virtues. I did mine on a straight gut feeling. How much thought did you put into yours?
I thought you were going to come back from the toilet way faster, so mine was basically the same.
So these are guts, and then we've got a poem. Should we finish on the poem, because I think it's gone for a long fucking time.
We're definitely long then today.
So my number one was integrity.
What was mine?
Truth.
Your
one was truth. So I can't go back to it. It's like none of these ours are 1 and 2 and 2 and 1. So Matt's second was integrity and my second was truth. And then Matt's third was in sincerity. Mine was justice. And then
that's a big gap there. Justice was my 13th.
Order is very similar, 11 and 10. Cleanliness was the same, 8. We're just dirty bastards. You need to join the Dirty 30 Club, Matt. That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
What was your 13? Yours was justice and mine was chastity. Again, Dirty 30 Club. Humility 12, 5. That's a big gap. So cleanliness was the same. Moderation 6 and 12.
Yeah, I forgot which moderation that was.
Yeah,
I had top moderation. Oh, top moderation was 9. Okay.
Yeah. Frugality very similar, 10 and 11.
Yeah.
So
order 11 and 10. Yeah.
Yeah. So none of them are the same. No. None of these have the same thing apart from cleanliness.
Yeah.
Which is low down, and that says a lot more to our character than anything else.
Yeah.
But otherwise.
I mean, truth and integrity are 1 and 2 for both of us.
That's very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I could never see us having an argument over that.
No.
No, it should be integrity. No, it should be truth.
No.
I think this is where we find ourselves in today's climate.
Okay.
Where someone has picked truth, someone has picked integrity.
And they're
having an argument over it and trying to put this into a rules-based system. No, we must have integrity first. No, we must have truth first.
Not realising that the other had that as number 2.
Exactly.
So they're both really important.
Exactly. And I mean, like, for example, equality isn't on here, for example. But anyway, but like...
Oh, that's true, it's not. I mean, you could argue that... certain would argue that that comes under justice. Social justice.
I think so, yeah.
But that could also come under... one of these other ones somewhere, maybe.
I think justice is the best one, probably, for equality.
I mean, it's the only one where it would come under. I suppose.
Yeah. I think we're having the wrong arguments.
Maybe so.
You know. Right. Do you want to read us out?
Yes.
So we got this poem that Matt wanted to do.
We're going to finish on a poem
that Matt was thinking about, so I brought it up. Actually, I'm not going to show it to you. Matt can just read it.
All right.
Is it Doc or Matt? You can Matt it if you want.
I'm going to do it as Matt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Off you go, buddy. And then after that, we'll see you soon when we're going to talk about some other cool things.
Fuck it.
He's going to do it as Doc. Right. Anyway,
not enough whiskey for it to be dark.
Love you guys lots. Don't fight the wrong, don't fight the wrong arguments. Try and do your best. We're all living in The Sims, so fuck it. Off you go, Matt. So this is Rudyard Kipling, read by Matt, and this is If.
Read by Doc.
Read by Doc.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. I'm slowly transitioning back into Matt, so I'm going to do the rest as Matt.
Okay.
If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they're gone, and hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.